What's up everybody? Welcome back to another analysis video, and today we are going to be going over Kazekage Gaara, or what's his actual name? Gaara, Protector of the Sands. So before we get in, I wanted to give a shout out to Blue Games. I really suck at making thumbnails, so he does me a big favor by making thumbnails for me. He doesn't ask for anything really, so I'm just giving him a shout out. He does a lot of Naruto content. Be sure to check him out. You know, he's a small channel. He's trying to get up. So I started off small. I got my help, trying to return the favor. So aside from that, today we're going to be continuing our analysis series. Oh, and another note. I made a mention at the end of the video, but I'll start it in the beginning. Naruto is slow in terms of the progression of the game, and because of that, there's been less content that I want to put out. Rather than just like dishing out content for the sake of putting up a video, I'd rather make a good video. And the only problem is that I'm not pulling on any banner because one, it gets costly, and then on top of that, before there was like the need to pull on certain banners just because like, oh, One Till Naruto came out, Minato came out, those guys came, you know what I mean? Like each character that came out you like really wanted, or they were really good, or they added something new to the game. But now it's like, now that Jiraiya can kind of just win every single mission on his own, I've lost the interest in pulling for characters. So because of that, I haven't been doing summon videos. So I will be doing summon videos from time to time, but nowhere near as much. And I'll try to pump up the amount of other videos in a sense where it's like guides or analysis videos. The only thing with guides is that there's plenty of people out there who put out really good and capable guides before me. And just because of that, it's like it deters me away from putting up my own guide. So analysis videos are the only thing that I don't see other people doing, so I'm going to try to do these a lot more. So let's just jump right into it and see what we can get at. So Gaara, HP with pills 1896 or 1596 without pills. Attack is 1568 or 1668 with pills. Normal Jutsu, 4 chakra, 2 times attack towards all enemies in range, 65% chance of sealing jutsu, and or attack reduction for 5 turns each. Ultimate jutsu is 8 chakra, 10 times attack towards one enemy in range. If enemy is immobilized, deals 16 times attack. So, and before that, field and buddy skill. So field skill boosts attack by 100 to 200, and buddy skill reduces damage taken by 15%. So overall, buddy and field skill, very useful, and his attack range is mid. So he has a solid stat line for a mid range. It's just the fact that every other unit can limit break, which is where his stats seem to lack, only because since 90% of the characters in here limit break, they end up having higher stats. But aside from that, pre-limit broken stat wise, like if you're comparing him to other characters without limit breaks, he has a very, very solid stat line. So let's get into his normal jutsu. So normal jutsu is 4 chakra, very cheap, right? 2 times attack to all enemies in range. So what does the damage actually come out to? It's 3,336. So it is moderate damage, nothing too crazy. Somewhere along the lines of a Neji rotation. Like we're talking about like Neji rotation after limit break. So you know it's solid in terms of damage. It's not enough to kill off units on S rank, so it's not going to be used as much in terms of clearing AoE, but it's maybe to like tack on a little. It's more used for its utility purpose, right? 65% chance of sealing jutsu and or reducing enemies attack for 5 turns each. So pretty much what that means is that it can apply either of the two, or it can apply both. So each of those two things have a 65% chance of succeeding. So if one of them fails, the other one still has a chance to get on, or vice versa. So that's really good. And where this actually ends up shining is Phantom Castle. He's actually a beast in Phantom Castle. You know, he's like one of them underrated or underdogs of Phantom Castle. This guy just tears through everything. You know, just reducing or sealing jutsu in Phantom Castle is it makes the whole thing a breeze, right? If you pulled him, you know, Phantom Castle's going on right now. It should be a joke. You toss him in with a Jiraiya, you're good to go. It doesn't even matter. You could have like a 2-star female Anbu as your last person, and you'll still win every single match. So, really solid character in terms of Phantom Castle. So, yeah, it's really good there. Let's check out his ultimate jutsu now. 10 times attack in wisdom damage to one enemy, 16 times attack if enemy is immobilized. So 16 times attack if enemy is immobilized. This is something new that we haven't seen before, and you know, it's like, what was I gonna say? It's cool that Bandai is giving us something like this, because you know, we want different stuff, and each character ends up being so generic that it just makes them not want it. You lose your desire to pull for them, right? Because like, oh, this is another damage dealer. Oh, this is another healer. Oh, it's like, it just ends up being less unique. Okay, let me see if I can find his. Where to go? I'm trying to find, not that. Not that. I was trying to find his abilities because I forgot to go over those. You know what? I give up. I'll figure out the abilities later. But in terms of his ultimate jutsu, it's cool that they decided to throw something new in. So we know that Bandai isn't afraid to try to, or they're not gonna keep on giving us generic stuff. Like, they have other stuff in mind from what it seems like. Doesn't fix all the problems of the games, but in terms of this character, I really like it. I like the step in a different direction. So what else? So with his ultimate jutsu, right? 16 times attack if immobilized. Let's start going over the damages. So let's say if they aren't immobilized. So it's only a 10 times multiplier. So what you do is 10 times 1668 if you're using pills, and it comes out to 16,680, which is for a single target damage. For 8 chakra, that is not bad. Here, we'll compare it with Minato. So Minato, for 8 chakra, he has an 11 times multiplier, and he has 17,181. So it's less than 1,000 difference, which is really, it's about what, 500 difference. So for that's without the condition of it being immobilized. So with being immobilized, it ends up doing 16 times 1668, which ends up being 26,688. So that's almost another 7,000. I can't do math. 9,000 more than Minato. So in terms of that, that's really solid. So now, what's the application of this? How useful is it? How often do you think it'll come up? Things like that. Well, currently, the best immobilizer is Jiraiya, who is both free and currently out, easy to obtain. He's been out once before, so if you've been playing for a while, you most likely have him, or if you're just starting now, you'll probably be able to get him. So, more often than not, the chances of you having an immobilizer will be, yes, like, you will have an immobilizer more chances than not. And aside from that, you still have people like Neji who can immobilize. So, okay, so now we have that part, right? So most often you'll have people that immobilize. So how often can you use this? Well, it takes 8 chakra, right? And 8 chakra is pretty easy to get, considering that you start off with, you start off with 3 chakra, and if you ever generated 1 chakra, you're already moving up there, so you don't need too many turns to get to 8. This is also the stalling part. 8 chakra is very easy to obtain. It is the, I think, so the way it works is 6 chakra is the lowest ultimate jutsu in this game. A couple people have it, like I think Hinata, Tamari, pretty sure there's more, but I can't think of them. Sai. And then 8 chakra is the next one up, which is also a very good slot to have. Most, or if not all, the healers have this. No, not all. I know one of the new healers have 5 chakra, but almost all the healers have 4 chakra and then 8 chakra ultimates, and then other people that fall in this slot are like 1 till Naruto and like Minato. So 8 chakra is considered very fast in terms of who has it. So in that's a plus for the amount of damage he can put out, right? damage per chakra wise, he has one of the best if the opponent's mobilized. Oh, excuse me. But the only problem that can occur with this jutsu is not the fact that if you have it immobilized, but the fact that the enemy might not be able to get immobilized. So we saw in the Sasuke raid, we saw in the Orochimaru raid, that those bosses could not be immobilized whatsoever. And I'm pretty sure the same thing with Three-Tailed Naruto. I think it could be jutsu sealed but not immobilized. Not positive about that one. So in that case, how useful is it if it, if you can't immobilize? It kind of ruins the whole point of it. So hopefully the newer bosses, not every single one of them will be immobilized, but one thing that it can be used on consistently is the mini boss on like the second stage or anything like that, because that person will, like 9 out of 10 times, be able, it's just a normal unit with a lot of health. So right, that mini boss that you typically fight on the second stage of the bigger raids, so you should be able to immobilize that unit and pull it off there. It might be the boss on the third stage might be the only one that will not be able to get immobilized. That's the only downside, but other than that, it's not too bad. And for the hell of it, if you want in Phantom Castle, save up 8 chakra, immobilize someone and try to kill them, well, you end up doing like 80% of the enemy's health. It's really fun. It's not practical, but it is fun. So I think I covered. Okay, I think I covered most of the stuff. The main person I wanted to compare him with was Minato. Even though Minato has vast range, Minato's ultimate is 8 chakra and a single target. So kind of an idea of how much damage, from when Minato came out to his character creation to now with Gaara, considering that they're actually both Blazing Fest characters. So even without the immobilization, Gaara is still able to put up almost the same amount of damage as Minato, and they're both neutral typing, so that's really good. But Gaara has that extra bonus, which, more often than not you will be able to pull off. So that's a plus. The bosses is something that I covered, but like I said, you never know what's going to happen in the future. So it's just a little note to give you that. Overall impressions of this character, I really like this Gaara. He isn't like mind-blowingly good or anything, but he's definitely he's a solid card, right? There's nothing like bad about it. You can run him on most teams. He'll do his job. He's not like he's overall a good unit. It's one of those units that you can kind of just stick on all the time, and he'll do something rather than having to put him in for specific missions. He's one of the better, like, I don't know how to rank him. In terms of Blazing Fest characters, he'd probably be Limit Breaking throws it off in a way, but I'd probably put it at like to be honest, I'd probably put him equal or right below Minato in terms of how strong he is, just because the condition might not be able to go off every time, and he has roughly the same exact stats as Minato, without while being mid-range versus Minato being vast or super extra or whatever long. But enough of that. Hope you guys enjoyed my analysis of Gaara. Next will most likely be one of the Shikamaru story arc character people, or the Japanese Phantom Castle reward, which was like Sexy Naruto, or the Shadow Clone Jutsu Naruto sexiness. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.